And here's to me is the first line every parent needs in their toolbox. I'm so glad you're talking to me about this.
To the child. Say that to the child right away. When they're stressed out, when they're angry, upset, shameful, any unsettling emotion that you don't enjoy yourself, say back to them, I'm so glad you're telling me this right now.
That's right. I'm so glad we're talking about this. Because, and again, if we think about it in an adult context, if I was like, I'm so mad at my husband, he never, whatever it is, he never is home for bedtime, and he forgot the one thing I said. And if I was like, hey, like, you're never doing anything around the house, and I'm really frustrated. If he said to me, you know what, Becky, well, you're upset, but like, I'm so glad you're telling me about this. Like, relationships, I'd be like, I think we're good now. Like, I don't even know, what was I upset about? Like, because what someone's really saying to you when they say that is this feeling in you that you're feeling is real. And I still want to be in a relationship with you when you're feeling that way.
Yeah, I still love and accept you.
That's right. And so our kids need to absorb from us, from a resilience perspective, my parent can tolerate this part of me before I learn to tolerate this part of me.
Wow.
So that's line one. Line two, I believe you. I always say, like, if there's one line that would be probably the most healing in people's childhoods and the most confidence building from childhood, it's that. And it's so simple. Like, because when you say to someone...
What if you really don't believe them, though?
Well, there's always something you should believe. So right? Because, like, they're like, I didn't make the lacrosse team, and, and like, I'm never going to be able to go to school again, or something like, it's so embarrassing, right? I'm not saying, I guess you can never go to school again. That's not what I'm believing.
Right. I believe that's how you feel.
That's right. And you don't even have to say that, because underneath our kids' extreme verbalizations, we get very caught up in their words.
Yes.
They represent a world. We believe the world. Mm-hmm. And so if you're like, I'm never going to school again, I would say, like, I believe it feels that bad. And because I do.
Yeah,
it does.
It does.
I mean, and it's like, it is. Like, he's on that bench. Like, right?
Especially of someone at that age who doesn't have the skills of emotional resilience, so they're building it still, and they haven't figured out how to manage those emotions. It seems horrifying.
That's right.
It seems terrifying.
That's right. And if my kid says I'm the only one who didn't get a chapter book, I got this picture book and everyone else is reading chapter books, it's so easy to say, oh, you can't be the only one. We actually say to our kids all the time, which terrifies me, I don't believe you. And if we wonder why people don't trust their emotions, it's because when they felt emotions that were strong, they received, not one time, over and over, a message of, I know your feelings better than you know your feelings.
Or just suck it up, or it's not that big a deal, just kind of undermining their emotions.
That's right. And so when I think about I believe you, I do. Like, I have a daughter, I have 3 kids, I have a daughter, and like, I don't know how, I always picture like she's at some like college party in some like kind of uncomfortable situation, let's just say.
How old is she now?
How old is she now? She's 9, but
okay,
let's just say she's
in
now.
The future. Yeah,
she's 20, and someone's like, I don't know, come back with me, and let's just, if she wants to, great. But let's say she doesn't.
Yeah.
In those situations, I'd be like, it's not a big deal, Right. Do I want her self-talk to be, I do have a history of other people knowing what I'm feeling better than I know what I'm feeling? Or do I want her to be like, I know I don't want to go home. I want to cry. Like, I believe myself. And this person is telling me I want something else, but like, how could this person know? Because I know what I'm feeling. Wow. And those things are completely related. And so that's the second line.
Wow.
And then the third line is equally simple. It's just tell me more. Tell me more. Oh, and then, so they posted the list on the pin board. Wait, so everyone was there. Oh my goodness, everyone was there. And let's say I knew my son had a crush on someone. That person was there too. And you were like so excited. You were gonna like be on the lacrosse team, and that person saw
that you failed. And
exactly. So I'm just like fleshing out the story. And now at all these moments that my kid was in pain, which, by the way, part of the pain was probably that they were alone. I'm kind of infusing myself in every moment. I'm adding connection, I'm adding believing. And here's the thing about the bench. In my experience, when you kind of go through this, your kid gets off the bench before you do, every time.
Really?
And then you're like, I guess where are they going next? And when they need you,
they'll come back.
Yeah, or you find them on that next bench.
Interesting. So they'll get off this bench faster of emotions if you go through in one or all 3 of these questions or these phrases, right?
I really do. And look, we can't just like say them. Like if I'm sitting with my kid, I'm like, I believe you. tell me more. Like they're gonna be like, what are you doing? Like, did you hear that on some podcast? You know? So that won't help, right? We process intention and tone before language. So that has to be there. And like, I don't want to say it's some magic. And to me, when do kids get off it? Like, I don't know. We all feel feelings for whatever amount of time, you know, but if like, I get it. Like parents are sometimes worried, like, am I going to stick them there? Like feelings don't give us problems as much as feeling alone in our feelings give us problems.
Feeling alone in our feelings give us problems.
That's what makes us stuck.
Interesting.
We're literally stuck because we're alone. Like humans we're beings of connection and attachment. Attachment's what's driving us. So we're always attachment seeking. And when we're not getting the attachment we need, we will get stuck and frozen, like you were kind of referring to. You're frozen. Yeah. And so it's interesting. We have such a fear of if I connect, I'll keep them there longer. It's actually aloneness that keeps them when they're longer and actually makes them intensify things. Because when we don't get our emotions taken seriously by someone, everyone, forget being a kid, adult too, you escalate the expression because you're that much more desperate to be taken seriously, which usually makes people be like, I can't, you're so dramatic. Okay, you know, now they have to escalate.
Even more.
Yeah, exactly.
Until you pay attention to me.
Exactly, which is why I believe you. And it can be healing too and repair. Like, hey, you know, like you're still stuck on this lacrosse thing. Because I get it from a parent. Like, they didn't make lacrosse 4 months ago. Dr.
They're
Becky
still talking about it.
Right, but if you just assume, and it's not right, but it might be effective, right? Like there's a million ways to interpret things. I always say, like, you can be right or you can be effective. Like I urge the effective, you know? So just say like, you know what? Like I don't feel like I ever fully understand how awful that day was. I'm just gonna sit in your bed. And the idea of sitting on a bench, like I think that's useful. It's like sit on the bed with your teen or, you know, and I'm just gonna listen. And I would say to your kid, not listen to judge or give you an idea, because actually that's not listening. Listen to understand. And that just means I wanna hear you. I might ask things to clarify. But what I've never said to you, and I should have said, is I believe you that day felt as bad as you said it did. And like, not like normal bad, not like I went to my favorite ice cream store and got an ice cream and it dropped off my cone. Not like a billion times worse than that. And I just, I feel like a parent's be like, my kid really, like, my kid started crying, or my kid, like something released and they softened. Like, I mean, you know this, like at our core, we are desperate to be believed. That's like our most core need.
Yes, it's true.
Just believed and seen. And like, so many of these times when a parent feels like my kid is stuck in that, the thing that we need to shift is actually taking the opposite approach. We usually like, you don't need to feel like that anymore. That was 4 months. It's actually sticking them more. It's just like, wait.
Staying in the emotion more.
Yes.
Saying, let's talk about it more. Tell me more about this.
Yeah, just tell me more. I must not have understood something. And then of course it's helpful to have language. Look, this was super, super helpful. Like, kind of, I wouldn't say this to my kid, but we're going to time box this, you know, like things are, you know, and, you know.
Talk about it for what, 30 minutes? And
sure. I always like talk about when I used to work with adults, like who are really kind of looping in their anxiety, like we're going to have a worry window for like the top of an hour for 10 minutes. You're going to literally just focus on everything you're worried about. And like, if you ever have a productive, hopeful thought, you're actually not, you're going to say, sorry, no, worry time. No, I'm only negative.
Stress only right now.
I'm going to write it all down. And then during the other 50 minutes, you're going to say, hi, worries, and don't worry, like, it's kind of like when you have multiple kids, like, you don't even want my attention now. You don't have my full attention. Like, you're gonna get my full attention at 2 or 15 minutes away, and our feelings actually, they kind of do respect that, and I think kids would too. So I wanna talk to you about lacrosse, and I wanna be honest. I wanna talk about it. I haven't been the best listener. I really haven't. I'm gonna do that differently. You're gonna see. I'm not gonna be perfect, but you'll see a difference. At 110, that's what I'm gonna call it. Not because you're not allowed to have feelings after that, but feelings are tricky. Like it's super helpful to know them, and it's helpful for feelings to know they even have a boundary. And so at that point,
wow, that's interesting.
you know, like we're gonna do something else, or at least I'm gonna do something else. Yeah, we can do that.